All right, family. All right. With the brother Panic right now.
Yes, sir.
Let me wait till this pull up put Panic on YouTube. Make sure everybody is where they're supposed to be in the
Yeah,
building. I know we got a lot of people waiting tonight, Panic.
good enough because we gonna
They,
give them something to
yeah,
wait
they want
for.
this occult. They want this occult knowledge, man. And
Yeah,
who's giving it up to them? Who's not just stroking their ego, telling them they're the greatest Osiris of all? They're the greenest of green
right,
gods. Yo, you.
right.
Sometime I was talking to Blue Pill the other day, Panic, and I told him I said, "Yo, my best teacher in my life was hard on me in the 8th grade." But you know what?
Mhm.
As I look back and I'm older now, I can say, "Yo, she was the best." Not the teacher
Mhm.
that stroked my ego, but the teacher who really cared and was honest and was hard. And I feel as though you pass
Right,
a lot of those characteristics to the people who are learning because you don't want them to be mindless followers of yours. So
right,
I
right.
appreciate your approach, my brother. Let me while the people, what's up, family? While the people they filling up the chat fast. I want to give a shout out to some businesses real quick, family.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Let me
sir.
do
Important.
that. Give me a second. We're
Okay,
gonna start soon.
let's roll.
Give me a second. All right, first and foremost, let me give a shout out to King Simon. Like I
Yeah,
always told y'all, if you need help with numerology, your reading your energy in terms of numbers, that's the language of the universe. This is the man to call. He's been helping me over a decade with numerology.
yes, sir.
Also, the 7-day Kundalini virtual workshop, a live chakra meditation from 9/11 to 9/17, hosted by Blue Pill. Listen, family, we're gonna get into it real quick at the beginning. Panic gave me a video. Panic has an instructional video for this Kundalini workshop. It is crazy, y'all. It is amazing. Yo, the brother don't even remember what he said. He was
I have
in the
no
zone.
clue.
They call it the flow. He was in the flow so much. I said, yo, Panic, yo, you killed it. Yo, I don't remember what I said, Rick. Hey,
Yeah.
Panic winning. We gonna talk a little bit about it tonight,
Okay.
but there's instructional videos from Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, and more, as well as a live chakra meditation for 7 days from starting September 11th to September 17th by Blue Pill. The information is on the screen. I want all of y'all to sign up, man. For more information, just contact me if you want to talk to me on the phone. Otherwise, just go to the website. Of course, this is the lecture tonight. The Magic Money book. Y'all know, hit up the Cash App if you're interested in the Magic Money book. Spiritual Principles for Attracting Money. $ Black Magic 363. Quality handmade soaps. If you're tired of using Dove, if you're tired of using Irish Spring and getting the chemicals in your body and your skin, which is the largest organ, make sure you get more natural, organic products. And Quality Handmade Soaps got a lot of them, family. So go to qualityhandmadesoaps.com.
Mm.
If you got problems with your joint, hit up my brother Riverside Tai Chi. He has a special going on for a certain amount of bottles for joint balance formula.
Nice. I need
My
that.
brother Mike, you all seen Red, Blue, Polite, Umar. Everybody got on these hats. He calls them crowns, but the brother got high frequency clothing. Hit up the brother Mike for some high frequency clothing, family, so you can represent what your vibration truly is. Also, Spirit
Yo,
said,
he gave me one of those before.
oh, brother
Mike,
Mike,
the
right? Mike,
hat.
right?
Yeah, he
The
gave me
hat,
one of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
This
Yo,
shit's
you know this
fire.
dude, this dude right here is spiritually lit. He said he's a student of yours. Yo, Panic. His
What's
camera.
his name? I know who that. I think I know who that is. Is that
I don't know his name. I don't
start with
know.
an H?
Oh yeah, Hassan or something.
Hassan.
Hassan.
Hassan. Okay, I
Hassan.
didn't want to say the wrong name. Okay, that's Hassan. Yeah,
Hassan.
Hassan's a cool dude.
Yo,
Yeah, he's a
yo, he
cool
doing his
dude.
thing with the. He got the chakra candles that change
That's him
color.
who does that shit.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
nigga never told me. He just said he wanted to, he's a good guy. So
Yeah.
he asked, could he promote in some of my groups? I was like, go ahead. But he never told me the detail. So that's how I remember that he
Right.
had candles. So it was interesting. But
Yo,
those shits was fire. We was talking about them yesterday or the
yeah.
day before. Crazy.
Them just
Yeah,
change
yeah, yeah.
colors. Like
Hassan.
you meditating and they changing the colors of your chakras. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's off the hook. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
man.
needs to. Yeah, yeah. Well, he in the right place if he came to see you. because
So shout
those
out
things
to
are,
Hassan.
yeah,
And
you
also
gotta come to, yeah.
Panic, real quick. I want to give a shout out to Khadijah because she doing her thing
Oh yeah. Let me
right
give a
now
shout out to
with the readings,
Khadijah.
with the Akashic readings.
Yo, let me tell you, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Her readings are so insane. I have to schedule time with her now. But her classes is what she's really putting this effort into now, these chakra classes. I mean, you go to a website, you go to my website, occultlectures.com, hit her website, which is samedimassage.com, SAMEDIMASSAGE.com, message, message, samedimessage.com. And yeah, her chakras, her readings, and they speak for themselves. Her classes, she's becoming an entity within her own. And soon, I know we have a schedule of her and myself together to do something with you too, brother Rich.
Indeed.
In the near future.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait.
That's going to be a big deal. And like the only thing holding us back is her schedule is so crazy with so many readings, because once they pile up, she's, it is what it is. So, but yeah, we look forward to that too, coming up and doing our thing.
Yeah, I was telling you, Panic, just to start out with, before we get into the name of the show is the Occult Technology of Power.
Okay.
Those who run around this world and act like they control it do so through occult methods.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's, people always talk about Hitler. Hitler was obsessed with the occult.
Yeah.
Obsessed with the occult. The Nazis obsessed with the occult. So we're gonna go into the occult and what it really means tonight. But before I do, like I said, when I started out, when I just got on the stream with you, I want to thank you. Brother Panic contributed a video. We got the 7-day Kundalini meditation happening starting September 11th. And when I tell you this, I want to say this dude, but I want to say this nigga, because there's so much emotion attached to it. This nigga
really?
Panic
I don't even remember that shit.
Bro, you don't even remember it.
I have no clue. Damn. Bro,
that's what you call possessed by the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
no.
What you call possessed by the Holy. This nigga, listen, family, I'm sorry, pardon the language. This nigga went in. So,
really? Damn.
Thank the Holy Ghost for possessing Panic to produce this video. But listen, family, we're gonna have videos from Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson,
nice,
as well as others, along with a 7-day live 11/11 meditation, Kundalini meditation. My blue pill is going down. I just posted the link. Make sure you're signed up. This is the investment you all want to make. But the brother Panic, there's a lot of things you said interesting yesterday when we did the pre-recorded video.
Right.
And the people who sign up, what it is we're gonna go live every night for 7 days, but there's instructional videos from Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, and a couple of others. We're gonna get some sisters in there, but right now we got the 3 kings in there, and we'll probably get 3 queens and 4 to make it a 7 videos. But one thing you said, Panic, that stuck in my mind was that you was like, since the Beetlegeese energy hit, it's much easier to do the inner work.
Oh, yes.
The inner work that people was having problems with before, it's easier now because it's a different light hitting this planet.
Right. So that's the first thing. The first thing we have to be clear on the definition we know, but let's highlight that knowledge and light are the same thing.
Yes, sir.
So when people's biggest uniform problem with meditation was the knowledge on how to do it, really. Even though they had the intellectual instruction, sit down, sit like this, do it like this, don't do that, breathe like this, close your eyes, look over here, and wait for that. Even though they had the intellectual thing, it seems like that inner knowing was the lacking. Because after they did the motions, none of them said, I know I was on point. I've never heard that. I've never heard somebody say, I read the book on meditation, and as soon as I did it, bam, I was all over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Never heard those words. Always hear, am I doing it right? Is it this and that? So in other words, even if they have step-by-step instructions, it always seems like something was missing. So light and knowledge are the same thing. So this illusionary thing that we're watching out here is just a map of inner things opening up, and things that we have access to that are being shown to us. That's just the movie screen that we see above our heads. And then on that screen, there's a star in Orion's belt. And for those who don't know, Egypt, Kemet, their central system of, I don't want to say worship because it has such a dirty connotation on the word. Their central system of science revolved around the Sirius star system.
Yes, sir.
The 3 pyramids on the Giza Strip are lined up with 3 of the stars in the Orion constellation called Orion's Belt. So their chief deity, which the major mythology is surrounded around, is Asar or Osiris, which is the same name as that center Sirius sun, or that center sun in the sky. All the other suns revolve around this sun. So the Kamites said, this is the origin of the universe. This is where we're from. So in this very important constellation that the ancients put a lot of intention on in the area, this constellation in the Sirius star system, the Greeks called Orion, or the Orion star system, or the Orion constellation. And it's Orion the hunter. So in the hunter's shoulder, there's a star called Betelgeuse. It looks like Betelgeuse, but it is pronounced Betelgeuse, I'm told. But, well, YouTube tells us, as YouTube tells us, that it is still pronounced Betelgeuse. And as we should know, they did a movie about the symbolism of this star in Orion's shoulder, in Orion the hunter's shoulder, called Betelgeuse. The name of the movie was called Betelgeuse. And so, you know, it's no accident. Twice in the movie, they referred to the character Betelgeuse with the spelling of the star Betelgeuse, which looks like Betelgeuse. And so they made it clear that they're referencing that star. So when we went back to watch the movie, there's a lot of symbolism in it. First of all, the house is representing planet Earth, and it's representing the upstairs represented the astral world where these people were now stuck, and downstairs represented the world of the living, the human, where the humans are. Fourth dimension, if you will, if we had to put numbers on it, represented where those worms were, and these spirits could not get out. So in order to get their house back, get back in control, they were going to call Betelgeuse. And Juno, which was the creator role aspect, and they showed a conveyor belt of people coming in, coming out, dying, being born. They showed that conveyor belt in there. And she pretty much said, do not call Betelgeuse. He will exorcise your dead, everyone. That's ancestors. What they're talking about, what she was saying is that particular light is something that can, now, actually, before we even go there, there's a book called Astro Travel by Yvonne and Gavin Frost. It's probably the most standard astral travel book in the world because it's called Astro Travel. And it's not really a great book. Since it's written by 2 authors in the beginning, whoever wrote in the beginning, but the second half really picks up because they give you a lot of, when you learn the astral travel, expect these kind of things. And one of the things they talk about is that learning doesn't stop after you leave the body. There are plenty of entities, and I found this to be absolutely true later on, that still get an education beyond the body. There's some who've left the body and their spirits have made contact with me just to keep on with the study. So in other words, the ancestors would be waiting for knowledge as well too. What is knowledge? Light. So this particular Betelgeuse star in Orion's shoulder has been losing light. It was considered by whatever white standard the 11th brightest star. It is now the 24th. It has been losing light. Now, let's say this is point A and this is point B. There's a certain amount of distance between where we are at point B and where this star is at point A. And light travels at a certain speed. So if this may have happened 10, 20, 30 years ago, the light still takes a time to get from point A to point B. So what we're seeing now may be the tail end of something that already happened, just we're receiving the light now. So we're receiving the light on something that's already happened in this part of the universe. That's why we're able to visualize it with their Hubble bullshit. But it's really only looking at something that's happening in the mind. And this happens because of our circumstance and our consciousness and blah, 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 blah. When this light comes, this is an event. No matter how we slice it, this is a phenomenon that happened and always happens in consciousness. So around about 2006 or 7, I started to question myself, like, what the fuck are we doing this for? The fuck are we standing in front of people, yo, this and that, and if you knock 3 times on the ceiling and turn around, fucking Miss Mary Magdalene will appear. Why are we doing all of this shit? And then the spirit answered, and I seen Al Gore's first installment of, what was his documentary about greenhouse effect, whatever that was. He did a whole greenhouse effect documentary. And what he did in one sitting was document all the destruction of the greenhouse effect. Then I was absolutely clear on what we were doing it for. I was absolutely clear on what was happening when our voices was heard, where we think we just talking to empty heads that's going to be Christian anyway. When we're doing all of this talking for all these years, then Sonetta could put up a picture of Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, and Jesus, and your whole shit, you will have to sit, after you watch that tape, you have to sit in the fucking house for a week and a half just to recuperate after you thinking you doing what you doing, and here we are. You see the true psyche. So you kind of know it's not going to be it's got to be something spiritual that must happen. You get what I'm saying? Our best position is to be aware and awake and ready for that spiritual transformation. It's not going to happen with our sweat and stick, because by the time you figure who that guy is, there's always somebody ready to kill him. There's always somebody ready to say he's a fraud. Always somebody to say, where the fuck's the money at? You know what I'm saying? So it'll never work through these means. It's a spiritual thing, and this is why the occult is the absolute positive way we need to go. The occult is not a religion. The occult is a particular understanding you must come through personally. You can't do the occult like I do it. So I can't tell you how to do it, and I can't judge if you're doing it right. Occult means hidden culture. So what it means is you're working on your spirit. So your spirit and my spirit may have 2 different things going on. So I don't even look for, it's nice if we do come across with the same agenda, but I don't look for it, and it's not necessary, because the occult understanding of this reality is not a religion. It's a way to look with clear glasses at what motivates that which is apparently in front of you. So if you're looking from what is the gasoline behind whatever action, and if you start thinking you can control where the gas goes, then you can start to control where the action. We're just really talking about cause and effect here. The cause, when you understand the occult, is a hidden cause. The effect is the apparent shit around you. You get what I'm saying? So you want to focus. The occult is practicing first and then mastering the art of the cause, that hidden cause. So when you do ritual, when you do certain things that look imaginary, you're interfacing with invisible. And the invisible is imaginary to the world of the real. So you're dealing in the real, in the realm of imagination and in the realm of visualization, just like a child. A child does that naturally because a child just came from that world, and that was the order of operation there. So if you're trying to move and operate in this world, you know there's a true hidden world that runs it. And that hidden world is accessed through specific means. Two ways. It can be accessed through traditional means, where you see niggas getting initiated and adorning themselves with all sorts of shit. They don't even know what the fuck it is until somebody told them that's what the fuck it is. Or there's the occultist that understands beyond the tradition, the religion, beyond the what's the word I'm looking for? Superstition. Beyond all of that, there's a way to access this energy directly. This energy is nothing more than a detailed definition of your mind. And if you truly know thyself, you don't need the pageantry to start working and exercising your mind. This shit is about calisthenics. So your mind goes as far as the push-ups you did. The push-ups you do are through meditation, through affirmation. You get what I'm saying? Through straight understanding of self and your undying need to know. An undying need to know. Not how much you want to lecture, not how much you think you'll know to catch up to whatever. How much you want to know for yourself. For no other reason but to know. Not to make your business pop. Not to make, the pussy game, the pussy pimp ham stronger. Or whatever fucking your mixtape, whatever niggas got going on. You gotta put those worldly things down and understand, first and foremost, you have to be honest with yourself and make a commitment to yourself for absolute honesty, no matter where it takes you. And this will conflict with your ego. This will conflict with it. But it's designed to, it's supposed to, because the ego isn't real. And if you are dedicated to find that which is real, the first thing you must check is the shit coming out your own head about yourself. Because that's the first thing you know is fake. And you know it's fake. Come on. If you got 10 pieces of pussy, you telling the world you got 15. That's what humanity does. You have to be honest with yourself on that level. And then when you start turning it in, you start seeing that you're responsible for a lot. You start taking responsibility for the cause again. And then you realize that the cause of everything in this existence that you perceive is your responsibility. And then you start to really understand the weight of what God really means. And then it becomes easier for you just to put twisties in your fucking hair and say fucking hotel. And then it becomes easier for you to stand on 125th Street and just argue with niggas about their shit because you don't have to deal with your shit. But see, you can't have it both ways with this. That's why the power of the occult is the power of reality. We are in a time now where reality is in this ultimate revelation. This is why Trump is doing the job that he's doing. American presidents from day one that I can imagine but as soon as it mattered enough, would lie to maintain the status quo. In fact, we know that everything we said as Black men and women, even before consciousness, we knew they were telling us a fucking lie. Even Kanye West is sitting there talking about George Bush ain't do nothing he don't like Black people. We know that. That's standard. But the only thing they could stand on is that they had a good fucking hustle going. They at least could say, well, we trying to help Black people. I know I know y'all getting fucked up, but we're gonna do better. We trying to do that, and we're adding more to do that, and we're more aware of that. They could say that. But with Trump, they no longer can even go around the world with that particular lie anymore. In other words, as I pointed, reality is at an extreme height in this moment as we shift to what we call the Sati Yuga. We are now in a golden age, blown. That light coming here, Beetlejuice, is us now full-fledged in this golden age. We run this. They showed you in the last Avengers what happened to Captain America. He got old on that bench, remember? Who did he give his shield to? Black man. They're telling you, they got to give America back. When they gave the shield back to the Black man, look at the star, full-fledged Baphomet. He said, yo, here you go, I'm giving it back. He said, I don't know what to do with it, that old corny-ass, falcon-ass nigga. I don't know what to do with it. He said, oh, you'll know just what to do with it. Watch it again. And then even Thor, who represented the God force, who represented the mythological aspect of the Avengers, who did he make the queen of Asgard on Earth? The Black girl, who played the Valkyrie. Here you go, you the queen. They giving up the guard, nigga. I'm telling you, we just too fucking dependent on the motherfuckers to know they gave it up. That's what they did. All right, we turning it off. We ran out of tricks. Trump is not like their Illuminati trick. He's the end result of their magic is over. So he shows you every day the aspect of this shit that was supposed to be the hustle ain't got no more hustle. It is what it is. A fat, greedy, racist, rapist, grab them by the pussy, orange clone from the caves, yodeling ass cracker is in the motherfucking White House. And that's how it's always been. But now the covers have been pulled back. And this is because your time, your light is here. We just don't know it because we're doing it. And their last ditch effort was to lock you in that Black Lives Matter shit and let you niggas talk woke in it so you feel you made progress. So that's why Nick Cage is up in this motherfucker just pop locking, talking about Jews. And he said, well, we're not over yet. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try this and try that. But he's bold because Black Lives Matter has been let to be made a little bit bolder with what they say. I can hear it in their commentaries because they want to create the illusion that we're somehow making this progress. And they want us to make progress on that track. But the reality is, this is ours again. And really, we only up now to drive the fuck out of here. Not really just to hang around and play around anymore and be like, oh shit, we back. Let's make mangoes again and everybody make a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? About fucking 400 record labels. No, it's time to move on. This is that waking up period. The ancestors, all of that. And for me, I started to feel what was coming next for niggas. And I started to feel it because I'm not inhibited by holding on to some hope shit. More people would feel it just as much as I would. I'm not that special if they would just let go of the hope. Because at the end of the day, no matter how spiritual niggas are, they still want to hang around and see white people get beat up. And I'm like, nigga, I don't even care about that shit. This has all been about us. So once you start getting rid of shit like that, your cup becomes empty. And if your cup is empty, you know what I'm saying? What I'm telling you now is being filled up with that light. But if you have a full cup thinking you this fucking lecturer speaker, I know what I know, motherfucker, is gonna go right over your head, and you're gonna miss the early. You're gonna have to get it when everybody else get it, nigga, later. Right now it's happening. And really the characteristics, they know what was gonna happen because they keep talking about the characteristics of it because it's happening. Like I said, it started happening to me. They showed it also in the Avengers, not Endgame, Infinity Wars, when Doctor Strange had to figure out what was the best thing and most logical thing for him to do. And he was able to peruse all the different parallel universes to come up with the best scenario for his outcome. This is an attribute of the fifth dimension. In Men in Black 3, this is one of the attributes that the alien who they describe as being from the fifth dimension had. The ability to sit down in any parallel universe that was created to observe it. That's a fifth dimensional attribute, and most conscious people are going there next because all the parallel lives that they created that's in the form of data in the quantum world, they're now able to view those lives. You know, their lives will pass before them, and they're able to view them and pick the best possible scenario. And out of all their lives, pick the best possible scenario. This is how you perfect your mind, because none of this shit happened. All the shit was just a dream, and all the parallels of the universe are how you study a scenario or a thought that you're playing out as a personality down here, as Brother Rich or Brother Panic or whoever. And as you playing it out, all of these parallel choices are happening. On the fifth dimension, I can view those choices. And then perfect that shit. So as I move on to that cosmic being, that cosmic star that is responsible for a system being around me, where I populated with my subconscious mind, just like they said in the movie what was that shit? Inception, when they was building in the dreams, and when she's in the dream, it's like, who all of these subconscious, who all these people around? Said, you filled this world up with your subconscious mind. We do that all the time, and we create and live in scenarios and make scenarios for ourselves to entertain ourselves. And then when we need more, we can go through something like this. When we want to recruit others to come, we can go through something like this. And some have to go through things like this. Richmond to go take a shit. Some have to go through things like this. Lizzie, I think there is. There you go. Like you must have
Yeah,
so some have to
yeah,
go. Okay, yeah. So some go through this. You know, like I've always maintained, and I've gotten it stronger, that we are here for many different reasons. We're not all here under the same reason. Like the reasons, the idea that we all here and have one plight is the same kind of thing. We were all slaves, and we all got chopped up, and we all don't know, so we all have this problem. So we have this collective mentality all over. But shit, you've met certain niggas, and you know, I don't know who the fuck them niggas are. You know what I'm saying? And then you met other niggas like, oh, those are great niggas, but I still don't know who them niggas are. And you kind of feel we're the same, but it seems like we have different business. And it's not necessarily bad or good, but we need to understand it's not just a uniform thing or uniform. Oh, I get it. Rich saying when everybody see me eating a sandwich. So like it's like a uniform thing where we got this idea that it's this uniform thing, and then if someone that's what we all doing. Oh, did I hit that? Let's do that. I must have did by mistake. Booyah. Come on, video, get back there. Why is it doing that? Oh, is something, what? Is it saying that? There we go. All right, that was weird.
Good.
Oh, no. Hold on, let me.
Panic, while you do that, let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Listen, shout out to everybody in the chat showing support. I see y'all. We about 1,600 strong right now.
Okay.
Tell everybody, tell all your friends that the Occult Master's in the building. Let's get this
sir.
An amazing show tonight, family. Go ahead, my brother Panic.
Yes. We're gonna get on it. Get on it.
Oh, Panic, real quick.
Yes, sir.
You want to give a shout out to my mother. Today would have been her birthday.
Miss Adrian Merritt.
Yes.
Let's give a shout out to that. Let's give a moment.
July 17th, she's a Cancer. She would have been, she passed away in 2008. She would have been 65 today.
Would have been 65.
Yes, she would have been 65.
What's that? That's the shit. That's the 11, ain't that? Yeah, that's an 11. That's some powerful gateway. Let me tell you. Usually when I give a shout out, I go, Adrian, but she got the name for it. Adrian. Watch her power come now. Miss Merritt, Mama Merritt. Shay, we gonna do it. I already done dropped some edibles to her earlier. Really? If I do it again for the camera, we might not.
Oh man, my brother Panic, drop the edible. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. And we had a little bit of these puppies. This is the shroom, the shroom jar.
Shout out to my brother Hank.
Shroom jar.
Uncle Hanky got me my first shrooms, man.
Yeah, Uncle Hanky. Yeah, he got I first tasted it at ayahuasca.
Hey, Panic, let me ask you this real quick, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We was talking about one of the things you mentioned, and when we was talking about the Kundalini, because this number 7 keeps appearing. Mm-hmm. We got 7 notes in a scale, musical scale. We got 7 chakras. The number 7 just keeps appearing over and over again.
Right. It's everywhere.
So I want to ask you, you said the spirit was trapped in this spectrum, this light spectrum.
Right.
The lowest red, Roy G. Biv, and the highest violet. So it's trapped in that spectrum, and we can't see like ultraviolet or infrared.
Right.
And you used the analogy of remote control with the TV, right, and how it beams that light to the television, but we can't see it.
Right.
What I want to ask you, my brother, is just use an experience as a teacher and to ask a question. When we look at somebody, they know we're looking at them because they look back.
Right.
What the fuck are we beaming them with where they could be across the street? We look at them and out of nowhere, it could be 100 people on the street and they'll look directly at me because they know I'm looking at them. Yes. What the hell is going on, brother?
Let me tell you. That's some real shit.
Yeah, real shit.
In the fucking book Cyclomancy, this nigga talks about it. I can't remember if he gives the scientific name to the actual frequency, but they do define it as a frequency because he tells you that you will focus on your genitals, and as you inhale, pull from your genitals to your medulla oblongata. He said, feel the energy or just visualize the energy as you breathe and pull up here. He says, as soon as you open your eyes, have your intention while you're looking at whatever. I promise you, that shit work. Nigga, I used to get on the goddamn train and just go to town. My whole thing was to try to make someone's nipples rise or, them fall asleep and their legs open. That I was always successful. I could tell you what color drawers. I'm coming home with a color every trip because like it's a Metro card use that was well worth it. well worth the $4 because I could literally feel I would have to turn away. And he's given the scientific method for what they call the evil eye. There's people who say, oh, you gave me the evil eye. Somebody was looking at this and gave it the evil eye. But you can actually shoot energy from your eyes because energy and all this shit is light. And we know in Science 101, they said that's how you're seeing everything through different lights and different light contrasts. Those 7 light spectrum are those contrasts all working together into the matrix that you see. It's nothing that's going beyond ultraviolet and infrared within what you see. Everything is just a mix between red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That's the trap. That's the light prison or prism that you're in. Simple as that. The all-seeing eye or the third eye can see symbolically 350 degrees, 53 degrees of light that the eyeballs cannot. So when you're illuminating this, you're seeing spirits in a whole different hidden world. And you're not just seeing them visually, you're able to experience it because through the pineal, it's like all 5 senses. In the pineal, you have 72 chakras, or the 72 conspirators of Set, or the 72 Goetia. I have a whole chapter just on 72 alone. But 5 times 72 is 360. So the illuminated 360, or the vessel of Solomon, or the ring of Solomon, which he controls the deities, are the 5-pointed star times 72. 5 times 72, 360. So the 72 out of your pineal is actually serving all 5 senses. So the 72 chakras are for seeing, hearing, touch, smell, taste, and 5 times 72 is 360, the illuminated man. So if I can feel spirits, there was times I could taste shit and tell what to feed a spirit. We used to do that. I could tell now, your mom's right now, something with brown sugar. You need to do that right now. Just some donut or something. Not now, but hook her up. You know what I'm saying? I used to taste it because that from that pineal, something real sugary too, like glazed with some cinnamon shit on it, like one of them Cinnabuns. Y'all have those out there in New York?
Yeah, you know we got them shits.
Yeah. I know they're in the South. The motherfucking, I wouldn't even eat that shit, and I don't have that.
You know what's funny you said that? Them glazed donuts was a shit back in the day from Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kremes, okay, that's what it is then. Get us some of those. I can see that. Your pineal will tell you taste information here. So that's the illuminated 72. And that 72 and that 5-pointed stars is fucking what Baphomet means. Baphomet is nothing more than the fucking illuminated pineal. It's so stupid to even have an argument about it. And it's so stupid to think someone needs to defend that shit. It's like me defending fucking my reading glasses. What, nigga? This is the science. Like, they have a use. You either use them or you don't. You either need it or you don't. If you ain't doing the occult, you don't need that shit. It means nothing. It's just a goat that has a symbol that's just going to make you upset. But if you're doing the occult, that shit is about kundalini, pineal, illumination, androgyny, as above, so below, alchemy, you name it. It's pan, you know what I'm saying? It's everything I just said with the 5 and the pineal and all the rest of that shit. So I need it because I do this work. But I don't need to defend it because it is just like my glasses in this work. You can use them and you don't use them. I'm gonna get there regardless. So it's nothing to be defended. This idea is because we want to religify everything, and we first really need to understand the occult can't be religified. it's what drive its very definition is. Once you come to religion and say this is what religion is, then the occult, then you would have to say, well, what's the hidden behind that? Then what's the hidden behind that? So when no matter what subject you think you could possibly say it is, as soon as you go, what's the hidden behind that, is the fact that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. The hidden behind that is what you're supposed to be doing. Therefore, it can't be bound to no religion. So whatever you're going to call it, you're going to say, well, this is the occult reason behind it. So you're trying to go with the cause here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to demystify it as hard as I could. You're trying to go with the cause here. Most of us are reacting to the effect. So if Trayvon Martin gets killed, that's an effect. If a cop beats another motherfucker's ass, that's an effect. If niggas ain't got no economy, that's an effect. If Trump do this, that's an effect. That's not a cause. So we're moving on. We're reactionary niggas, no matter how deep we say Hotep, we're having reactions. The occult is trying to say we want to control the cause. Right. Therefore, and the cause we understand to be invisible in its nature. Therefore, we must address it with what looks invisible to the earth, but very visible in the mind. You get what I'm saying? Very visible. So it looks like you're just doing this and that and this, but it's symbolic of where you're directing your fucking mind to deal with the invisible. So you got these, in my, well, let me not resort to name calling. You got guys who just don't understand the concept. And then, you know, they'll make that statement where your mind's on Saturn, your mind's on this, your mind's on that. And then in the next breath say, but we gods. Well, if we gods, didn't you make Saturn? And shouldn't your mind be on that shit as well? Or are you saying you can't keep your mind on both? Well, leave it to the advanced God who could. Because my shit is on this and is on that. And on this, I know this is done. And it's not like I'm really trying to go to Saturn to turn up neither. All that shit is done. We're trying to get beyond this realm. And even if you don't believe in that, you got to, there's, what else is working? What else is working? It's the same old shit. Niggas don't know what, complaining about, they doing this, they doing that, and they making me wear a mask. No control.
Hey, Panic.
Yes.
What when I listen to lectures from the brother Bobby, old lectures with him and Clemson Brown, I mean, they put together some classic lectures.
Right.
He talked about how you mentioned Sirius and the importance of Sirius. He talked about how Set is the oldest deity known to man, and how Set represented Soot, represented Sirius, representing the dragon constellation. And that when the dynastic Egyptians came around, they erased what was going on with the pre-dynastic, the Typhonian Egyptians. What I want to know is and they made Osiris the main deity. First it was Set, but the Set got turned evil by the dynastic priests, and then Osiris came the main deity. So now we Kemetic priests, we Kemetic scholars, and everything is Osiris, and Set is the bad guy. Because we don't know the pre-dynastic era. What beef why did the dynastic Egyptians have so much beef with Set in the pre-dynastic Egyptians? What was so bad about that teaching?
Excellent question, but you got to think of the mentality different.
Yes.
Like they were going deeper in the fall. This wasn't all of a sudden, we wasn't just chilling. White people came and then we were fucked up. We were on a long fall. Just landing here was the beginning of us declining. That's the nature of it. We have to, and Bobby also talked about this, we have to go to the putrid state, the dry bones, before there's a rise. So early on, we retain more of our ancient mind. As we went down, you had just that 1% like you have now who are conscious. So think of us. Think of me and you right now, and we know that Run DMC is the truth. But in the South, You hear what music is popping right now. So how do we, as responsible priests, retain the old rap shit, so when the story is told, someone smart like Bobby, like Panic, could understand that Set is your friend beyond just the devil? See, because remember, it's not just that Bobby told that story, he also told you that Set was your friend. So
Yes.
this was encoded by the priest for a later day. So what I'm telling you, it was encoded by us, Bobby, myself, to come back later to reveal it, because we were falling down, 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 down. Even Dr. Africa told you they didn't start writing on shit to the 17th dynasty. That's when everybody started writing on shit, because they knew they were going down, 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 down. So what you had is fad trying to keep the shit fat out. You seen it in your lifetime. Moses was the man in the old Bible. He was the one that he took his people home. Then he gave it away to Yahshua. But they just made it this guy Joshua, but Yahshua is Jesus. They was calling Yahshua Jesus all through Passion of the Christ. So Moses gave way to Yahshua. So in other words, the Savior used to be Moses of the people. Then Christ became the Savior. And then after that, Muhammad became the Savior. And to the Muslims, Jesus is just another priest. So for something new to happen, they always overthrow the old guys. And if the priests are smart, they usually make the old guy the bad guy. So he has some role. Bobby used to always point out that even in Christianity, you only see the devil a couple of times, even in that made up fiction. But Set was always standing with all the other deities. Now we know, because it's not emotional. He's the bad guy. We don't like him. Why the fuck you gonna give him shine? It ain't about that. It's really more about them trying to tell you the necessary ingredient, the agitator, which represents that part of your consciousness, perhaps, that keeps saying, that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That ain't right. And Set has, in the later day, has come to represent humanity. But before, he was that troublemaker like Loki. You know what I'm saying? You could kind of say. And then that just turned into the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? You could actually see how Loki made all the movie plots move forward. And you can see where he's the bad guy. But you also see where he's a part of the fucking family, and you can't have a movie without Loki. You cannot do Star Wars without Darth Vader. So that's Set's real role. You can't do any of this. Osiris can't have a mythology without his brother killing him. And Horus can't have a rise. He can't be a hero without having this guy. So that's how we thought about it. We didn't think about it like, we don't like that nigga, so we're going to start shitting on him. It was more like we were showing the roles of it. And even though before, at an earlier time, they just used him to play that role because they tried to retain some of that wisdom, because it would just be forgotten and we would move on. For instance, I heard a girl in Japan the other day said rap started with, who did she say? I think she said Master P or some ridiculous shit. Master P, look in the movie Foolish. He said rap started with NWA. Get what I'm saying? So the priesthood knew we better, even if we have to make Run DMC the bad guys in this, we better say their names, otherwise they'll just be forgotten. You think Kid Rock invented the shit. You get what I'm saying? So that's the mentality. I think I hit that right.
No, facts. Definitely
Okay.
did.
All right.
Panic, one thing that we talked about in our conversation for the workshop was you talked about parallel universes or parallel worlds, Doctor Strange, Men in Black 3, and how You also talked about this nebula, about being a sleeping
Yeah.
nebula. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yo, remember that?
Well, I know the channel. Yeah, I know I was telling you.
Bro, like
Maybe
we're
today.
dreaming,
I
we're
think I
dreaming
remember
still.
feeling I didn't hit it like I wanted to hit it. So I'm glad to get a second opportunity at the titles. Yes, yeah.
So Panic, so check this out. So
Okay.
let's say we're dreaming this existence and we're dreaming possibilities, parallel universes, which we might call thoughts, which we eventually bring into this projection realm that we call reality.
Yes.
A person who got molested at, let's say, 6 years old,
Mm-hmm.
since they're asleep in nebula, did they really get molested?
Mm-mm.
Or was that just a projection of one possibility? And if they're 25, should they completely ignore that aspect of their childhood, and should they just block it out, or should they accept it and say, when I was
They number one, just on regular advice, they definitely shouldn't ignore anything.
okay,
They should definitely accept it and do whatever they need to do to release it. I mean, that's primarily what occult work is. After you get past the mind and what you're supposed to be doing, when you do that chakra work, that's the honesty thing I was telling you about. You wouldn't be honest with yourself because you're moving down. We already know this is an illusion. That's one of the ABCs that you learn in consciousness. Maya, the illusion. I'm sure there's a Shemrak, Nak Nak Rak Na, Metaneta name for the same shit, but this ain't real. There's always somebody has a story that this ain't real. Khadija said one time she was looking up and she seen how this shit was a computer she was like 10 or 12 or whatever she said she was. She said she started crying. That's how profound it was. It was just a moment of her seeing through the veil, if you will. So this shit ain't real. But you can't tell nobody that who's thirsty. You cannot tell them that hungry. So the way you experience this, your mind is supposed to be convinced. Otherwise, why have it? You get what I'm saying? If you're like, I know I'm in my bed, ain't shit wrong, then when you have your dreams at night, you feel the emotion of the moment. That's the point. You're supposed to be experiencing this thing. So you are experiencing it in your mind, but it's not really happening. So how do you have the reference? Let's say you are this God, divine mind without a body. And that means all you are is a mind. And based upon what you know, it must be your power. Well, how would you know things? If Phil Valentine used to say it all the time. Well, man, you know how Phil flows. Well, man, beloved, comes in, and when he comes and then he flows, beloved. Like what Brother Phil used to talk about was how man didn't know how, or God didn't know how big or how small he was. So coming into a physical world allows him to, and they say that in Kabbalah too. When it's in Ketha, it doesn't know how big or small it is. So it becomes Bina to observe itself, then Hokmah to observe itself, observing itself, and all this old shit. But what the fuck was he talking about again? Yeah, that's when it's coming down. What the fuck was we just talking about again?
Well, we was talking about like say parallel universes, worlds, right? Say a person got molested.
Okay, right. Okay,
their spiritual entity, they just want to block it out and say that really didn't happen to me.
Right. Okay, I remember. So
that's the right thing to do.
Right. No, absolutely not. Because and that's what I'm saying with you. So the whole idea of this all-knowing God coming down here is to put itself in a situation. that it will never be in because it doesn't know how big or how small it is. So it has to come down to earth and can't swim, you know, not the coolest, bow-legged, you know what I'm saying? Not the cutest, or maybe the cutest, and you got to live through that bullshit. But all of these things are ways to put yourself clearly to learn more. Because therefore, when you leave the body and have none, you're just mind. All you how could you have been raped if the body isn't real and that's not your body? How could your body have been violated if you don't have it anymore? So, or once you discard your body and you move on, is the rape over? Because the rape was a part of the body and you discarded it. So is the rape over? It happened here. And that's the only place it ever happened. And that's what you're bringing to understand some of the most, what we would call the most foulest things to our divine mind from that perspective. We're just dealing with very dark thoughts, things that will never happen. And to us for real, we would have to think it. What if Earth is just where you think it? And all these lives and personalities, different motherfuckers down here just getting their think on. And that's been said. It's not like me guessing. That's been said. That's what's happening. This is all the worlds of play. That's why we know the future, because it already happened. So we're just playing thoughts that have already been played out, actually. Accessing them. There's so many theories, but what is absolutely clear, and you can't get beyond know thyself, is nothing. You should hide nothing from yourself. You're here to deal with everything.
Indeed.
In fact, let's say something terrible happened like that, and you forgot it or blocked it. The true occult understanding is, why did you block it? It's really, that's what it's not about. White people. It's not about no fucking economy. It's all about knowledge. It's all about knowledge. And we're here for different things. We're here to get knowledge. Some of us can't leave here because they don't have enough yet. Some of us come to pick up, like myself, some recruits. And we look amongst those who Earth calls conscious at that moment. They would hear my words. And really, I'm just recruiting for my hood, pretty much. How do you know what it is? I tell you all the time. Do this, do that, meditate like this, eat like this, fuck that, nigga. If you wanted that, you like this, no tap, nigga. And if people feel that zone, they can actually merge with that energy later, learn more, because it doesn't stop there. So I don't think we're as wretched as, See, actually, what you're trying to get me to do is go into that channel. Let me just go ahead and do it. All right. So, okay. So it's been bothering me. I've been, because there's so many fucking possibilities, valid possibilities at what this shit could be. But it's been coming very hard, and a lot of answers have been coming since that Beetlejuice light has got here. And one of the things is, let me know the setup, nigga. We gonna get out there and there's a motherfucker. Yeah, motherfucker, let's finish this shit. Punch your ass back in the body. You like, yeah, all right, one more time. Then nigga, oh shit. You go through a whole other lifestyle. All right, nigga. That left though, nah. You jokingly, but you want to know. So one of them nights, shit was coming through hard. And I know it's coming through. All right. It kind of showed me this. Now, I always give this kind of warning, I guess, or precursor. These are channels. These are not book facts. I don't really try to tell someone to convince them. This is not what it's about. The only person that has to be convinced is me. On this one, I'm convinced. I don't mind sharing because y'all know me, but I need y'all to understand. Y'all got to take that for what it's worth. Channelers know how real it is. You don't channel, guess what? I'm just telling you a story. All right, so what I found was it started showing me these nebulas, and you confirmed that was the name. But nebulas are like baby stars. You know, the white people who look at their space telescopes would say, those are new stars being born. There's a truth to that. Those new stars are actually the ones who are dreaming on Earth. So we're seeing, remember I told you, this is, anything you see in that canopy is the projectors from here. So this is all internal. So Crowley talks about it. Oh, well, Kamites, everyone talked about it. Crowley was the last one in the West to talk about it, that every man was a star. And that's kind of where they remember it from, though all mythologies is telling you that. You're supposed to become Osiris. Osiris is a star. So, but that's true. You're made of the same stardust. Most star systems are masculine and feminine. Now, I know this for a fact. Me and Khadijah already have a star system, and kind of like Inception, you fill it up with your mind. So when you go, your mind is only left. You're a star. So you get to make whatever adventure that your orbit can take. And you maintain it. You are truly the god of that universe. All the entities that live in there are aspects of your subconscious mind. Whatever system you create is yours. And you enjoy that motherfucker however you do. Comedians got a whole, I guess we call it a galaxy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mathematicians got them. Historians got them. You know what I'm saying? The ones to fuck with though is the pan shit. Nigga, I seen them shits, nigga. That's the music niggas. All the music niggas is pan niggas. And you see what music do down here. So we got the biggest party going. You know what I'm saying? I already did the checking, Rich. You're a pan nigga. Well, you're a music nigga. As we see that keyboard in the back, you're a pan nigga. But I should have really even thought of that from that. But so there are recruiters that come down here to bring niggas back with them. Early on, I used to have visions that when I left, a bunch of niggas was rolling with me. Like I brought a whole new team and I was going to show them. I was trying to tell y'all niggas what it was all about the whole time. Y'all the ones that kind of hung out and stuff. Because I will say this. I've encouraged, or let me even say I've discouraged followers. That shit is of no avail sometimes. Like, you know, I just talked to Shabazz. Shabazz like, oh, you constantly just shit on niggas. Because, you know, our people tend to have this religious goddamn poisoned ass handcuffs on them. So they tend to put anyone who stands before them in that. So, you know, you always have to remind them not to, but god damn, there's motherfuckers that's following me state to state and all this kind of shit. Motherfuckers coming from, I'm like, and I get it. I don't take it with arrogance. I understand it's that message. So it makes sense now when I said when I'm leaving, there's a lot of motherfuckers who's coming. They line themselves up with the message. And if my message is that of my box, they're more than welcome to come. And I found they could come, and it's not like they have to stay or it's a prison. They just learn more. They learn more about what Panic and Khadijah was already talking about down here, just pretty much on the cosmic level, and then they move on. Because ultimately, everyone's a star, and everyone has their own. You get what I'm saying? What I'm talking about is the process of someone being born out of third dimension. There's that they can go into the fifth dimension and they're able to sit and do like Doctor Strange and do parallel universes, because what they're doing there is perfecting their mind. Because when they go out to be their own star, their mind is already developed on a level of perfection by dreaming through Earth, nursery, going through the fifth dimension and letting all of those lives pass before them to understand. Even Brother Rich has millions of possibilities. You just study that. And then you move on. And then with your understanding of your mind, you go and build worlds. You know what I'm saying? As God.
Yo.
So this is a training ground. I came this motherfucker to pick niggas up. Let's go, no teppers. Let's go. Get your ass in gear. Yes, sir, Rich.
Hey, Panic. I was talking to Blue the other day, and I was telling him the story. We was on a live like now, and I was telling the people the story about when I was young. I would dream of this like this monster. And I would look in the mirror. Like when I looked in the mirror, I would see the monster. Like instead of seeing me, I would see the monster, and I always get scared. Wake up, reoccurring dream. Then the monster never harmed me, never did anything to me. Then one day I was like, when I was awake, I was like, yo, I'm gonna face this motherfucker one day, you know what I'm saying? So one day I was sleeping, I said, to the monster. And then the monster just disappeared. It didn't come back.
Right.
So what I want to ask you is that I understand we're taught to hate monsters at a very young age. We're taught to hate, we're taught to hate darkness. When the older I got, listen to Bobby, I said, well, maybe that monster was the primordial version of myself or some shit like that. Talk to me about the monster program that we undergo when we're 6, 7, 4, 5 years old, and we're taught to hate a certain figure, and we're taught to hate darkness, brother. Talk about that. And maybe about that dream I had too.
Almost definitely. Two things. I broke that dream down for you before.
You did?
Yes.
You sure?
We were live somewhere too.
Oh,
I remember that dream about the monster.
I must have been on some drugs, man.
No. I just think you may have asked me in a different context.
Okay.
You definitely didn't ask me in this coming from this context. All right, so humanity, we've come to accept it as, look at that sexy bitch with that big old ass right there. Look at them old bouncy titties, and dude got muscles. Oh, you got fat, you got skinny. But to the spirit, all this shit look disgusting. All of this shit is the monster. Your greed, your need to eat, your snots, your pus, all of that shit is monstrous to the other side. So you just came from that other side, and you're actually in a foreign monster right now. So the monster you seen was yourself, which was actually the truth. We just started to accept it as this is what we call beauty and neat and how a face should be. You don't know what it is until your mom keeps saying, you're so cute, you're so cute. I guess I'm fucking cute. You know what I'm saying? Because if your mom just say you're so fucking ugly and you're the monster, I'm a monster. So you don't know what you are. And to the other side, when you first get in the body, you don't know what you are, and we see monsters. Shit, that's not the only reason they don't even let you look. Your eyes won't even work as an infant to after a while till you start getting to acclimated to this world. So spiritually now, when you hear about monsters, you're trained in the occult to understand they're talking about that which is old or ancient, not good or evil. Good or evil is not even in the game. You get what I'm saying? Good and evil is made up. And I always have to find myself explaining, like if I'm on your, so because I know you have a lot of new guys who may not have heard me before. Good and evil, like if you walked up on me and I'm beating up an old lady, you would say, "Oh shit, that's evil." You know what I'm saying? He's beating up an old lady. What in the fuck? Bad black guy. But then if I said, well, she just killed all my kids and drowned my baby, you say, oh, kill her, that's justice. So that same act becomes justice, which was evil. So it's left to perspective, which is another way of saying it's not an absolute, which is another way of saying good and evil is not real. It's a matter of perspective. So in the occult, we get past good and evil. And when you hear things that classically fit into the good and evil role, that's a cue for old and new. So the demons, the older gods, the divas, the newer ones. Set, the evil guy, older, not meaner or bad, older. Then Osiris, newer. You get what I'm saying? Because to a Christian, Osiris is the devil. You get what I'm saying? So whatever perspective you in, it could be whatever. All that Hindu shit is the devil, not just Ravana versus Sita and Rama. So it's the older versus the new. That's the general. One of the most interesting things, and I decode this and I talk about it in my book. I don't even want to hold that shit up. In the last chapter, I talk about the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon, H.P. Lovecraft. Actually, am I able to share my screen, Rich?
Yeah. I'll enable
Okay.
it.
Give me 1 second. Let me find this first so I can get it up and make it real.
Shout out to everybody in the chat while Panic get that together.
Get this thing going.
Shout out to Sci-Fi, King Simon.
King Simon in the building. King Solomon. All right, where the hell is this Apple? All right, Necronomicon Magic. All right. What? Yeah, Word, you silly thing. All right, give me 1 sec. Open this crap up. All right. Let me share this screen. All right. Necronomicon Magic. Let me get to where we at. All right, so the Necronomicon was first mentioned by a writer named Howard Phillips Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft, August 20th, 1890 to March 15th, 1937. Nigga been gone. He first wrote a story called The Hound in 1922. The story is about the mad Arab whose name was Abdul al-Zared. Among other things, the work contained an account of the great old ones, their history, and the means for summoning them. Abdul al-Zared is a fictional character created by H.P. Lovecraft in a fictional story. Lovecraft credits him with authoring an imaginary book called the Kitab al-Azif, later called the Necronomicon. All right, so H.P. Lovecraft died in 1937. He was a writer. He used to write short stories about these monsters, right? He used to write these short stories about these monsters. And he himself would say, they're nothing more than, just my stories. Then some occultists found out he would get these stories from dreaming. These were Lovecraft's dreams and continuations of these stories and characters. So the cult niggas say, oh, you channeling. He himself, I'm not channeling. He was just this weird recluse guy. Horror as we know it is because of him. Before him, horror was like Dracula, The Mummy, Edgar Allan Poe, anything that had, The Raven. What was that dude? Vincent Price, anything with that motherfucker in it. That was horror. Then you started seeing after Lovecraft type shit, or his impact, because he made his work public domain, so anybody can write about it, and anyone has. All of these movies, Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Blob, Alien, H.G. or H.R. Gruger, something Gruger. He did some artwork updating the Baphomet and also creating the Species character. And he also, I have the book in here, he created the artwork for Alien. So all the aliens is H.P. Lovecraft. Cabin in the Woods, Pacific Rim, Evil Dead, Phantoms, Mimic, Ghost Ship. Anytime you hear something evil, something ancient, is all Lovecraft work, all about monsters. So Donald Tyson is probably the greatest, not the greatest, probably the guy you want. He's the guy who kind of he takes Lovecraft and the occult and marries it on step one level. You get what I'm saying? There's another book that's out of print, Polaria, Gift of the White Stone. I think it's R.H. or R.P. Mueller, which is really, what's the dude? The dude that used to run the OTO, that was a fake name. But it's out of print anyway. But he goes in on the science of the monster, Lucifer, and all the rest of that shit in there. Another good guy to get is a guy called Constantinos. He did one, Nocturnaton. That's pretty good. Lovecraft-esque. Can I get a couple of books real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right, let me get a couple of books real quick.
Yeah, while Panic get those books, man, shout out to Panic. The brother made a magnificent video. We got the 7-day Kundalini retreat coming up with my brother Blue Pill, Billy Carson, Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I want y'all to sign up. Click the link in the chat room. Man, this is the one for the ages, family. This is the one, like the brother Panic said, because of that Beetlegeese energy, the best time to do this inner work. You'll find more people, better people. You'll find exactly what you're looking for inside of you instead of looking outside of you. So it's time we go in, family. What appears to be a problem is actually a solution. So all this quarantine, man, it's the perfect opportunity to go within and put something together good. My brother Panic is back. Go ahead, my brother.
Right. Rich, I heard you, Rich, and the stuff you're saying is right on point. This is the guy to get to, Mog Morton. He does a lot of pre-dynastic writing when Set was running the joint.
Okay.
Bull of Anbos. Set.
What's it called? Let me see that. What's it called?
The Bull of Anbos.
Okay. Okay.
Seth and Egyptian Magic, number 2. He did maybe 1 and 2.
Okay.
Mog Morton, Moggorgan. He's excellent at pre-dynastic shit. This is a good book by Donald Tyson, if you can get it. Sexual Alchemy by Donald Tyson. He'll tell you how to have magical intercourse with the spirits. You can fuck your way into any goddamn thing. All you need is your hand. And a hand in this guide, this handy spirit guide. So if you could get this in PDF somewhere, this is a good guide for the mentality of how to start speaking to spirits and use your sexual energy to manipulate this reality. As for, was this it? Actually, oh no, but I did get the right one. This is an excellent book. Field Guide to the Creatures That Cannot Rest in Peace. Encyclopedia of the Undead by Bob Coran, author of Vampires, illustrated by Ian Daniels, because they have a whole chapter on H.P. Lovecraft in here that is so to the point. Dynamite. It tells you about his life, his impact. because he was nothing more than a channeler. So that I was reading from a chapter in my book. It goes on to say, since he's never said the word Necronomicon. That book was called The Hound. But as he added on more stories, the stories collectively became known as the Cthulhu mythos. Then later someone just said Necronomicon. So they was collectively called the Necronomicon, though there was never a book. They were collective short stories. And they also were public domain. So when it got to the 70s, there was a bookstore owner named Simon. The movie Johnny Depp was in it when he was trying to find that book. What the fuck was this? Somebody's gonna say it. And he was trying to find that book throughout the movie. Very occult, and the angel was saving him in the movie. It was a Necronomicon. They was trying to get all three of the books together, and it was getting him to go do it. Gate, not the gate, something gates. Something gates. Ninth gate, the ninth gate. I think it was called the ninth gate. Hell of a Necronomicon story. You know what I'm saying? The ninth gate. That was loosely based on the bookstore owner, because his friend was the bookstore owner, Simon. Simon, who knew was public domain, wrote a book called the Necronomicon, known as Simon's Necronomicon, where he used Sumerian deities. But now Lovecraft really channeled.
The ninth gate. They're saying the ninth gate.
Yeah, the ninth gate.
Yeah.
Tell them late. Them niggas are so late. I just said it. But tell them I said, thank you. Good job. You guys are all over it, man. No tap. Like they yo, let me tell you, Miss Adrian's in the building. As soon as I stepped out there, I felt that fire on the back of that head.
Woo.
Like, so she's coming through with this one hard. I'm telling you that. So Simon's Necronomicon, like I said, he talked about the Sumerian deities, and those were still so powerful. He wrote because he released that book in 1977. He now wrote an update book saying what happened in 1977 when he released his book. He's gas shortage, Son of Sam, motherfucking hostages, blackout. This nigga was naming all this shit in 77. And no doubt, me and my sister went to a foster home. And so shit went down because of the Necronomicon. I'm just joking. But he talks about that in Simon's thing. So to get back to Lovecraft 7 and the original understanding, because there have been games, there's a book series called Gurups. There was a Necronomicon Gurups. There's Call of Cthulhu. There was this game, because people have added on to the monsters. But Lovecraft 7 monsters, I break them down to where they exist as the primal forces in your body. Nyarlathotep is the only deity that they can communicate between human and them. It's pineal gland. The drunk blind god who moves to music and does as they will, drunk and blind. That's melanin. Oh, I break all this shit down. And it's, like I said, I have it all in my, and because they couldn't hit it on that level, all the scholars who tried to break down Lovecraft, he was channeling, but no real nigga channelers from our era ever came and dealt with that. White channelers are still added to Satan and Lucifer and what they meant in Babylon. How it goes to the practicality of niggas today. Or I break that down and I give it to you in class. And I give it to you now. It's bad. So the monsters is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious, in the mythology, Cthulhu came from Saturn. There was running shit here. There was wars. He goes to sleep under the Pacific Ocean. That's why you have the movie Pacific Rim, where the monsters come out to sea. Then you had Idris Elba with his dumb ass yelling, we become the monsters. I'm like, nigga, no, we are the monsters, you old dumb old nigga. We are. So him saying this kind of grandstanding is actually going against the energy that they're talking about. The monster is your true mind, the return of Osiris. The monster, Cthulhu, in the mythos, Cthulhu goes to sleep and returns, the same goddamn story about your subconscious mind returning, that Lovecraft is having this same goddamn nightmare. The monsters are those, remember we talked about it in the first one, Shakti versus Kundalini. Kundalini is more palatable. So the monsters are less palatable in this realm. Your subconscious mind is an animal. How many times I teach that, let's be real. If you're in the store, you see a girl with a big, you're married, you got your wife. I'm married, I got my wife. I love Khadijah to death. I see a girl with a fat butt. You're thinking about what it looked like, bent over, open, and you don't want to say thank you, how you doing, or nothing in here. But if you know you did any of that shit, you're going in there. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But you got to ask, didn't it come? Where is it coming at? Why is it up here? I don't even want to say hi to her. Ding, 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 and keep it moving. Why? Why does that occur? Why does that monstrous thought exist in my head? Or the dude that cut me off. Don't you just want to just grab that? Just don't you have visions of like just driving through a whole bunch of motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Then you catch yourself like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm good. I'm human. These are black people. I love them. I'm supposed to love them. Because morality, in the mythology of the Necronomicon, they said while Cthulhu sleeps, humanity rises. When Cthulhu rises, he eats their asses to death. What they're talking about is when your true nature rises, your human morality doesn't mean nothing. You're the god of the universe. And that same girl that you would have bent over, you make her in your own mind. There's no girl out there when you don't have a body. Remember, I told you, you make your world to entertain yourself, whatever. If today the guy Rich decides to wake up and have a Walmart walk and say, oh, look at this, a buttocks. There's no morality where your wife is going, oh, that nigga done cheated on me and he's a no good man. That shit's from here. You can make whatever scenario in your mind go wherever. That's what we doing. And it doesn't offend anything. But if you were in a human body, that's monstrous, what you're talking about. You went against your wife. You dishonored your family. You dishonored this lady. You dishonored Walmart, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? We could go on for how out of order all of this behavior is as a human. And you would be considered a monster. And we would have to jail your ass. You just walking in Walmart, putting it where you want to put it, you got to go. But if this is not offending anyone, because it's just you in your mind entertaining yourself in your own realm, could you imagine what you're only limited by the shit that you can think of? God. So that's the difference in when you take what you truly are, just on that little scale. I'm only expanding our mind with what we know from here. Imagine with what we don't know that we could get into. I'm only saying just thinking of what you could get into here in Walmart. Imagine, it's monstrous to a morale. It's monstrous to a human morale. So that's the monster concept that I actually decoded. This is another one. Necronomicon by Donald Tyson, like one of the start off ones. This is a good book too. This is one of them ones that Bobby gave me, but there's a lot of highlights, so it's good. I can't remember. Gateways to the Other World, Secrets Beyond the Final Journey from the Egyptian Underworld to the Gateways in the Sky by Philip Gardner. Philip Gardner is a very good writer, so that's probably, somebody, mom, I went to a funeral. I was reading this, perhaps. Let's see who. Barbara Elizabeth Anderson, December 20th, 7 p.m., 2009. That's proof. I was conscious in 2009. On this page, Gateways to the Other World. Right. This is a book Bobby gave me. Philip Gardner. This white boy here, Philip Gardner, is one. He sat in front of a lecture once to a bunch of white people and said, "Hey, white people, did you know black people are talking about Egypt too?" They all, what? He said, but get this. They ain't talking about shit we talking about. They talking about a whole different thing. And them motherfuckers was just like this. I can't remember who showed me that shit. Was it Shabazz? It was some a Jazzo. It was somebody. But I always remember that from Philip Gardner. But yeah, that's the size of it. Monsters versus what they're really talking about is the nature of your subconscious mind is a monster. So see, when you hear about Kali, you'll hear like, oh, Kali Ma, oh, beautiful mother in the sky, oh, Kali who bless us. But then you hear all these stories, they just eat motherfuckers alive. But then in the mythology, the cosmic version of Kali is calm, serene, and is the great mother. But when she gets here, she's attacking the 8 ignorances of humanity. So she's monstrous down here, but yet again up there, quite beautiful. And something, maybe one of them Venus or African Venus ones, Bobby talked about that in detail, where he held up a picture and he showed like in a figure 8, the goddess face here, but her being a monster up top. That was the kind of thing he was talking about at that time.
You know, when I think you, Bobby, and a couple of other people said when the ancestors, when we die, we go to live in our families' bodies.
Right.
So ancestors, like let's say my mother or your mother recently passed away. They go to live in your body, your heart. Is the heart, is that the correct organ?
Well, I wouldn't say they move in physically. They're in the DNA. So your DNA is in everything. They're in everything. They're in all your essence. So if you needed the ancestors helping your hands, they're there. You need it in your feet, they're there. Your mouth, they're there. The sea, they're there. The hair, they're there. They are you. You know what I'm saying? So your heart is symbolic of the love and the kingdom and all the rest of that shit. And I would have to say your heart would have to be open to be able to receive. They're always in you. Just your ability to acknowledge and use is really the key. And so the opening of the heart and all the rest of that stuff is just to receive a bigger abundance of that guidance, that spiritual guidance. But they're everywhere. They always were you. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. Physical, you know what I'm saying? You know that's it's the same motherfuckers. You, your aunt, your uncle. You know what I'm saying?
So when we spiritually, let's say we spiritually died, for lack of better words, I guess we went to live in another deity's body or DNA of another deity. You get what I'm saying?
Hold on, say it again.
So when they say what we call birth is the death of a spirit.
Okay.
So just like our ancestors, when they die, they live in our DNA. I guess when we come to this realm, we live in another entity's DNA. It's like a fractal. It keeps repeating itself. What you think?
I see what you're saying. I probably would look at it before you get on that level, because you could go on that shit. That's just another way of saying like what was that shit that the Grassi guy was saying, this is a simulation of a simulation of a simulation of a simulation.
Right.
But truthfully, in Kabbalah, they tell you if you go by that, this was the archetype world, then it fell over, then it copied itself, and then that's it. So it tells you what simulation we're in. But I would say I would look at it more this way, because you go crazy doing that. because I remember that was one of the things spiritually I was told. And then when I started asking people, they were told the same thing spiritual, not to get too hard in Kabbalah, because each fucking Sifra is another root, another Malkuth and all this shit. You go on forever with that. Just look at the source of where all of this generates from. Your soul is a part of that light. Therefore, that's your golden ticket.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So even if we are in the DNA all the way down, we're in the DNA of something that comes from the source. You know what I'm saying? And all of that's not from the source, because at least in the Bible, it will say, like, I am a jealous God, and they speak and they get this from that what's in you is supposed to be older than that what created this place, they say. From that aspect. So you're really your power piece is your soul.
Yes, sir.
That divine light is your golden ticket to get back to that big pool, which is the source of everything. So wherever this shit started, you got a piece of it.
Right.
And you must be valued because of that piece. That's the idea. The divine spark is what the Gnostics called it. So even if we're sitting in all of that, you go crazy doing that. The idea is you would have to say, can I make it back to that source? You get what I'm saying? That would be what that would be what you would hope for. And you know something, and let me announce it now. So this will make my lazy ass move. There's about 2 hours of missing footage in my last the one the last tape I just put on YouTube. Like I fucked up, but I still have it. So I'm gonna put up 2 hours of missing footage. So I look forward to that. But yeah, I would say the source is that light. Your soul is what this is about. This is about your soul is the sun. So that sun that shines is your soul, and your soul sleeps down here to let this dream do what it does. Because if your soul was up and knows what it knows, this party would be over.
I told you something interesting, Panic, when we talked. I said, yo, you're able to draw so much light from your soul that you have much more energy than a lot of vegans I know.
Oh yeah.
And the vegans, because we're taught that, you know, the food is what gives us the light, or the physical sun that we see gives us the light. Something you draw from gives you more light.
You've heard it already. Amen. Ra. Sun.
In his sun, yes.
Once you go to the dark side, you become illuminated. There's a book called, I think it's called Darkness Visible by Simon Buxton. Darkness Visible by Simon Buxton, where he tells, you know, they were studying all these African rituals with darkness and staying. They said after a certain amount of days in the darkness, the pineal starts to open up and you can start to see fluorescent. They said he drops Darkness Visible is the name of the book by Simon Buxton. If not, it's Simon Buxton's book. He made a book about bees, and he made, I think it's called Darkness Visible. I don't want to leave and get it again, but he talks about how this comes online after these go out. You know what I'm saying? Don't know why we bring that up. Don't know why we bring that up. What the fuck is he talking about again? That's that, yo. When that starts happening, Rich, that's when I'm gone. Like, so I don't even remember what the fuck we was talking about.
Talking about the inner light. You ever seen this book, Panic? Dark
Yeah,
Light?
I have that. That's by the brother.
Yeah, the black dude. Yeah,
I think I talked to him before. What's his name again?
Edward Bruce Bynum. Edward Bruce Bynum.
Did I talk to him? I don't know. I think I did. But no, I have his book. That shit is on fire. Yeah. That book is fucking fire.
Yeah, good book.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
We were
Bynum,
saying
yes.
I was saying how you're able to draw from that inner light.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's that hidden sun. Yeah, like what could you? I just used to see Bobby do that shit, and it would amaze me. And I think I just felt it, like, you know, I was a nigga who couldn't shut up anyway. So I don't know if I started thinking about the endless shut up ability of it, or just the ego trying to top them niggas. Them niggas doing 8 hours. I'm gonna do 8, you know, whatever it was. But when I started looking up, I don't even notice this shit no more. It's like I'm gone. Like live lectures, 9 hours, 10 hours. There was one time they was trying to fuck with me. This little girl in fucking in Little Rock. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go there, she try to fuck with me. I'll be keeping their asses there to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Everyone else be sleep. The whole lecture, she'd be like this. And she fuck with me, she just goes like this.
Yeah.
And then she act like she writing shit down. Yeah. It'd be like just me and her, 5. Yeah, so the science, this and this and this. We was like, yo, because in Little Rock, it was their spot. So it was nobody was renting it. It was like it was the people's spot. So we in that motherfucker just chilling with my girl Eleonora, give her a shout out. And that little young girl, I always take a picture. The second time I came, her ass had pen and paper like that. And then I did it in Florida. I was testing them niggas. It was like 5 a.m. And we talking about I start at 2. We take it, you know, now we taking breaks. They fucked up in Florida. They gave me it was like 3 a.m. They thought it was over. They gave me a chair. What the fuck did they do that for? Woo, that shit was like a new lecture. I kept them niggas there. It was like 4:15, some shit like that. Damn. The only reason I stopped was because Khadijah had to drive. We was down in Florida. We had to go back to Orlando where we were. But shit, man. Oh, hell yeah. It's like the next day sometimes I used to feel angsty. Like, you know what I mean? And I got my shit right here somewhere. It's up here. That kava nigga. Woo. Bobby told me about that kava shit. It's like, here it is. I got this shit. This is the good shit. The kava. I got this shit in Phoenix, nigga, with I needed that shit to rise out the ashes. Like anxiety, like after I talk for long periods of time, that's actually what you feel anxious like, because you pull so much spirits and you trying to calm down. That's a lot. Actually, that's really the side effect of this shit. Think about this. After we say, all right, then, what you think? I'm just going like, all right, then, and just go to bed. Nigga, this is this shit now. You know what I'm saying? Think about that for a second.
That's facts.
Yeah, it take a while for Khadijah. Like, we have to get in front of the TV and just veg out, like, after classes. Because my classes is 10 hours. And I'm documented. Like, we start at 2, and when I ended at 12 at one time, 1:30. Yo, I go into a meditation. I promise you, I'll be laid back on the couch, gone, still doing class. And I just look up after an hour, motherfuckers is there like, all that shit documented. So it's zoned out. I've been stopped doing this with this. I've been in deep channel, lecture in deep channel. I'm zoned out. I don't remember the shit I'm saying. I don't remember what we started with just now. Today, we're somewhere else. But Khadijah also now, she's starting to know that she has to de-guise. You call a lot of spiritual energy. We not call this kava shit, though. This shit is very good for anxiety. And it kind of helps get you back to thinking, because you got to do normal shit. You be all fucked after all of this. You be all fucked. You walk out the room, you want to get some pizza. You be like, you just be somewhere else. Yeah. But that's probably, I would say, the side effect of it. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten better at that with the last live lectures. Usually I'd be like out of it, and I was like up, ready to go. We was hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I was hanging out with Nashville and New Orleans last time. So the inner light is getting stronger in it. And I think it was getting stronger lately because of that Beetlejuice energy was coming down. So if you're, I'm always looking to receive some shit. That was Bobby's whole flagship thing. Breakthroughs, man. Look for breakthroughs. So you never satisfy yourself with what you know. You know what I'm saying? I may contradict the shit in the same in a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Good. You know what I'm saying? This shit this shit is supposed to break down. It's supposed to break down where none of this is supposed to make sense anymore, because when it stops making sense, that means your true mind is coming back. You get what I'm saying? You shouldn't be able to explain this 100% no more. That's when we doing good. Like, your parent, I just know. That's the shit we want to start dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
What's your take on the whole coronavirus thing?
Oh man. Well, more than what me and Aleem already discussed. Listen, I'm going so many directions, but it's clear at first. What's absolutely clear is they definitely want us not touching each other for some reason. Now, the first thing says, well, the level of fucking on the planet has gone down dramatically, but it has to be something that would change the characteristic. Because think about this: if that light is coming, that light will come here based upon it being called, and it would be called based upon our, not just us calling it, but we would call it in the way we walked, in the way we dressed, in our slang, in the day-to-day unspoken thing. When you got to punch a time clock, we would call that light there. So that's just the day-to-day behavior of a nigga, you know, in this society, would call that light. That light would recognize, you know, that's what niggas was singing: swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home, nigga. Is the same concept of this light coming, and it's coming based upon a situation. So if they could just change the situation by having no contact, you can, or at least they can hope that it would fool or we wouldn't receive what we were supposed to receive by way of light. I guess that would be the thought process. Won't work, but you know, to change the behavior, because it's kind of like Brother Phil broke this down before, and you know, it was absolutely clear on what they were doing. Like, let's say with just Eminem, he was saying you would see the wigger, you know, they're acting like, you know, the wigger is just this outcast, but they're really trying to promote the wigger and trying to hope this wigger image will take hold of their kids to save them. Because when light gets here, and that's what Phil would talk about, light codes and light frequencies, light will see just the light will hit us just because we got our pants hanging off our ass, just because we move a certain way. We got a certain slang and a certain swag. That light sees that, and that's what it recognizes out the way we flow. So if the wigger is doing that, the hope is the wigger could catch some of that light too by acting like us. You get what I'm saying? So if you move forward with the corona thing, if light is going to hit us, it's going to hit us based upon our Holocaust and our day-to-day behavior within the Holocaust. Not so much our calling out on 125th as how much, like I said, our grinding, our just having to punch a time clock, just having to wonder where your damn dad was when you was little, or just wonder why your dad who was there is so fucked up. Just all the shit that we go through in terms of the thoughts of this Holocaust. If light was to come here, it would do that. Perhaps to change the characteristic of the planet, a quick and fast is nobody touch each other. Nobody do this, nobody do that. I mean, that would change the frequency and maybe a hope to change what would be happening with the light, perhaps. And that's a guess. That's not really nothing solid, and I really have a channel because I really don't do too much channel on why they do what they're doing. What I really get from this whole thing is we know it's the 5G network. Let's just get that out the way. We know it's the 5G network. We know it's that's poisoning. We know there's microbiologists talking about, it's bacteria, that shit is activating it. We know that. And let's just think about this for a second. The coronavirus is so fucking deadly, so deadly that they say that to know that you have it, you got to get tested. Think about that shit for a second. It's so fucking deadly to know you have it, you need a test. That doesn't make no sense. We don't, people, even as I'm saying it, I'm sure people in the chat room ain't even catching what I'm saying. It is so deadly to find out that you have this deadly thing, you got to get tested. You know what I'm saying? Cognitive dissonance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? We don't even catch it to take a stand like, this is so deadly. You're gonna die from this. This is deadly. But you better find you better go get tested to see if you have this deadly thing. Because you don't know if you get a test that you have this deadly fucking disease. Okay, we know it's bullshit. It's really the only ask me that question is to ask me what bullshit do you think they're doing now? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's no more than what I've already said. This is our time. We're rising up. You see a song and dance of them trying to hustle and buy themselves more time to hide in whatever fucking tunnel they dug in Denver or wherever the fuck they think gonna go, because now is the time. I'm telling you, this is our time. Captain America done gave that shield back to Hawk or Falcon or whatever the fuck his name was. That was symbolic. So whatever they're doing, it's a bunch of their bullshit. It ain't no real disease. That I know. What they're doing, I don't even care to think about it. What we doing, we getting on this fucking Beetlejuice ride. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck they doing. I know the fuck we should be doing. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Hey, Panic, before you get out of here, let me take a couple of questions from the people.
Sounds good.
In the chat room. Family, if you got a question for Panic, post it in the chat. I'm not going to keep the brother too much longer.
No, I'm good. But I'm good as long as you're good, Rich.
Right. We got about 30 more minutes. So give me some good questions, family. I'm going to take some questions from the people. Make sure you show Panic support. Panic, leave your contact info before we get to these questions.
Okay. You can catch me. First of all, the easiest way to get me is just Google Brother Panic. And if you never heard my lectures, there's thousands and thousands of free lectures before you have to pay anything. In fact, you don't have to pay anything. All hours are free. What I do offer is this: classes, of course, my book you can get on my website, or my herb pack. For those who do not know, my herb pack is a combination of herbs. I used to use it for myself for my pineal. They're classic. I don't even know how to sell it anymore because I've been selling it since 2008. It's an icon if you don't know, but it's a special combination. It helps with the chatter, dreams, deeper meditations. You can stay in the moment longer. I heard people say they stopped smoking, could do backflips again, could fuck again. They mix it with weed, without weed, stop smoking weed. There's 1,000 things that happen, but it's still the same price always. Rich was shocked because Rich didn't know until I did that lecture with Rich, and he seen that line going up the fucking street with that shit.
It was amazing.
And it's like that. And Rich was like, no, I didn't want to stop because I didn't want, you had a good line. Like, they all will come back, Rich. Let's go back. Like that, this herb, I've been selling it for so long. Like, people who don't know, like, I'll promote it. I said, please, I can't keep up now. Like, my son finally fucking It took 10 years for this nigga to get every single email at least written up on an envelope.
Yeah.
Now we could just stuff. I've never had no email. It took him, that nigga is 25 next week. It took him all of them years since he was 14 to even get there. And that's a big deal. And long story short, just keeping up with this shit. So I almost hate to promote it because I don't want the bunch. Yeah, I want to try this shit, but the wait, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. So that's why the lines are long at the live lectures, because they don't have to wait. So niggas like, you're gonna have them? Niggas come, and as you've seen, just to buy the herbs, and they don't even stay for the fucking lecture.
No, bro.
So every time your Panic's much at the door, I just come with herbs here. Yeah.
Yo, Panic, my girl thought that was absolutely amazing. She was like, yo, this dude spent $50 and he said he just want to get a panic pack.
Yes.
He wasn't even interested in the lecture, but he spent $50 to get in just to spend some more money for the panic pack.
Because motherfuckers who fuck with me, I give them results. Like so they like, I don't even need to hear no more use your melanin shit. He's past it. He just came for the shit because he knows he has to wait for it. And not because it's neglect, man. If I walked you in there now and showed you why ask why? I'll just walk you in there live right now. I'll just unplug and we're gonna make this move. Let me make sure. All right. I'll show you what my goddamn office look like right now. This motherfucker ain't no joke. Let me. Ooh, goddamn, this shit is ferocious. This is the fucking floor. Oh, actually, let me do this. It's the fucking floor. This is ready to go. I just sent out 4 bins. Where's this shit at? This shit, you just throw it up. It's just everywhere in this month. It's beasting. And so we constantly doing it. So you will get it. But you need to just wait. or wait till the white man opens up the lecture circuit again. So so we constantly doing it. So if you want to wait, because it's worth it, as you can see, and it's not a skinny pile. OccultLectures.com, go on and get you one. It's worth it. It will open this shit up for you, though. And you know, of course, we have spiritual oils. What else? Meditation CDs to go with it. Spiritual baths. Khadija, you can connect there with her classes, her reading. SamdiMassage.com, SamdiMessage.com. And I think that's the story of us. Let's get down to some more of these questions.
Okay.
One more thing. I'm sorry, Rich. Sorry to cut you off. My new book is written, is done. As soon as things calm down a little bit, I'm about to release it, and we're in business. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Rich.
All right. So Top Thinker wants to know, Panic, does marijuana impact your pineal abilities?
Well, I don't know about what you smoking, but these sure do. You know what I'm saying? These sure do. The answer is yes. Damn, man, I expected more from the deepest thinker. Yeah, any drug, liquor, like early on when I was I was fucking with liquor. Anything that alters your consciousness, but you still got to know what you're doing. It's not just, you just don't get high and all of a sudden you're spiritual. Like, you know, find a technique in meditation, and then while you're high, you want to do your meditation or you want to do whatever, because the idea is you can stay in the moment without all the chatter. Like the weed or the alcohol or whatever drug, usually in a mild dosage, kind of will occupy your conscious mind. It'll keep it occupied while you can stay in a moment or a thought, you know, better. You can stay in that peace and you could feel that. You got to see it separate. See, and maybe I should explain that when I see I can see my mind separate. I can still talk to you guys, and I see all sorts of fucking colors, and I see all sorts of shit. I see a whole different world that's happening, but I see that world, and I see it layered. Like out, this world is here, but this world is like something that's on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Even my hand movement. Oh shit! After I get off this motherfucker, Rich, I ain't going front. With all honors, your mom's energy. I'm gonna pour her some liquor because I'm feeling the shit out of this. Adrian, Miss Adrian, I feel it. Yeah, she's strong. I'm gonna have to get that. Well, I know you family anyway. I know you family because just everything. Like, yo, let me tell y'all this shit, man. It was crazy. Let me. I gotta get this in, Rich. Gotta get this in. Gotta get this in. Tormented by our mother for years. I could tell you a story, and I've told them, just refer to my lectures where I give the detail of it. But the episode last was she was homeless and there was nothing we could do about it. Died in the street. And she was getting a check at her sister's house. They didn't check that. And in fact, she had my number on her because they called me a couple of times here and there was nothing I could do in New York. So I knew they had it. But they buried her in Potter's Field. So, of course, got my sister, got a lawyer, got her, got the DNA check. It was her, got the ashes, had a set up the memorial, rented out a spot, got singers, both sides of the family, my father's side, husband. It was a extravaganza. I got everybody tickets and motherfucking got pneumonia. Couldn't leave. Oh, this shit was hurting. Remember the girl who was in Belly, the dark-skinned girl, I can't remember her name, little singer girl, sang on the New York City. She came, she sang. But I'm stuck in this bed in Atlanta. Only one nigga I knew to call. Brother Rich, I need you, brother. I called Brother Rich and was like, yo, if you could film this, it's on Roosevelt Island. Let me give you my sister's info. Rich said, I'm going to drop what I'm doing and do this for you, Brother Panic. And he did. And not only did he film it spectacular, he did it in most spectacularly. It was just like a lecture. It was like I was there. I seen everything. It's the greatest, documented, memorialized by Brother Rich. It was one of the greatest things, and that's when I knew then he was family. So that's why I understand his mom speaking and talking to me the way she is, real familiar, because she's family. And I'm glad to have her here in this house. And we feed spirits deliciously. She's more than welcome. I can feel her coming in. She likes it here. I'm gonna welcome in the spirit room. Actually, well, let's do that. Let's go in the. Well, we went in the spirit. We went in. Didn't we go in that motherfucker the other day?
The other day, I think we did. Yeah.
You and I. Okay, so we got it. So I'm gonna welcome her in that room. All right, so let's get to another one of these questions.
Let's get to another.
I'm gonna go through them now.
How does Beetlejuice manifest in our dreams? Somebody wants to know.
Well, it's not like it's going to manifest in your dreams in a specific way. So when you say that question, how does it manifest? Like it's like I can say, well, it'll manifest with A, B, C, or D, as if there's some sort of thing. What you need to look for is what you perceive as change, what you perceive as a phenomenon to you in your dreams. I don't know what you dream about. You may dream about, 17 dicks. I don't know. That's dramatic to me. That's a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? To you, that may just be nigga was missing a dick. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a nightmare. So you can't really say, how is that going to come? You really have to know who you are. So if you've been dreaming about A, B, C, and D, and then you dream about S, maybe that means something. It's up to you to evaluate. It's not up to me to say, you know what I'm saying? And that's just it. That's the kind of thing we do. This is not a religion, or how does, I'm not the preacher of Beetlejuice. Well, let me tell you how he come in the dreams. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell me. Just know that energy's here. So whatever work you're doing, it's light, it's raw material, it's knowledge. So see what you do. What have you been doing? What spiritual practice have you been doing? Don't think because you heard me all of a sudden you have a spiritual practice. You need to, a spiritual practice means there's something that you work on to get stronger at. What have you been doing there? And whatever you've been doing to work on to get stronger at, when Beetlejuice comes, you should be able to say through your medium, through what you've been using for your spirituality, you notice something, because that's what the fuck you doing it for. So that question wouldn't even apply to what we doing if you and I think you understand that.
Indeed. Somebody wants to know, where is it at? I just seen it. After ancient Atlantis, the demiurge came to Earth. Was it mentally or by flesh and form?
Who said that? The demiurge came to Earth after Atlantis. First of all, who said that? The demiurge is what people have been calling that creator god. And his helpers are called archons. In Gnostic, in nowhere do they say after Atlantis this happened or that happened. They talk about the demiurge and his role in the cosmic creation of this reality. So that's a mythology talking about this reality. And they talk about the nature of this demiurge or creator god or this lesser god. Not that he came down here and said, oh shit, what's up? No, he's the creator of this place. And they talk about the deficiencies in this place. That's in Gnosticism. And like I said, I have a channel that now contradicts that. So that's what channels do. All this shit could contradict. You just got to go with what flows for you. So that's why you have to get to a point where you get your own channels, because we've been used. Let's say you use my channels and my ideas. They're not for your mind. They're for my mind. And when I'm out of this body, I'm going to make me a fucking extravaganza with my mind, not with what I convince you or what you convince me. What I make it with when I'm convinced myself of. So you have to convince yourself of something. The Gnostic shit is that study. How do you want to see it? What I think I've learned to give you a real hard shortcut, if you could understand, and not you in particular question person, but in general, if you can understand it, what Bobby really was talking about was there is no rules. There is nothing. If you decide to say Gnosticism is the way, then this will be your perspective. If you say Jesus is the way, we know it's a vampire suffering perspective, but it's just still a perspective. Mm-hmm. So what Bobby started to understand, well, now I don't want to say what he started to understand, what he was teaching very hard, and he was saying it hard. He wasn't teaching how it was done. He kept displaying it was, your mind can pick anything you want it to be, and you just go with it. There's nothing that lords over you to say that ain't true. If you say I can blow bubbles out my ass, and that's what I want to do for eternity, then that's what you'll do. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna go, nah, son. That's earth shit, because it's your mind, and if that's your idea of heaven, that's what we doing here. You're all going to get your rendition, your own show, your area to put on your own fucking show and fill it with whatever the fuck it is that makes your fucking nuts sack empty. You get what I'm saying? So it's up to you to convince yourself down here. It's not for us to try to find this one place of being. If we're trying to find this one place of being, that's a social order. And I'm all for that, but that's not what I do with what we're talking about here. How to find a social order for one place of being. When you talking about freeing your mind, the very essence of it is not doing what I do. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're doing what I'm doing, you're not free. You're following my pattern. So I'm trying to get you to free your mind, not even give a fuck too much. You hear what I'm saying? I'm a display of it, but do not buy into it. Buy your own fucking story. It is your own story. I'm giving you the ultimate honor and the ultimate credit. Be you. I can tell you some shit to follow. Oh, easy. And convince you in moments. But I'm not about that. My heart doesn't dictate that. Free yourself. Stop asking these dumb questions and be aggressive in what it is the fuck you know. Be aggressive. Stop asking like you don't know. Asking me. No, fuck that shit. I find something better. I'm doing that shit. Y'all niggas sitting around talking about should we? I'm not gonna be saying, yeah, that's good. We should do it. I'm like, shit, I'm the first one to take my dick out. What? Oh shit, nigga. Who the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Do it. Be that dude. Experiment. You're a scientist. We too late to be having speeches. We in it right now. That shit is here. Put your pants down. Get to fucking. You know what I'm saying? Foreplay in this. Let's go. It's happening now. You know what I'm saying?
God is a rock star, huh? God is a rock star.
Yeah. What else? You got shit else to do out here. Do it now. Happening now. Fuck it. This weed open the Pioneer. Smoke it and see. Yeah, it's open. No, yeah, it's open, nigga. Yeah.
Hey,
Question is.
Dylan Bay wants to know, how do we activate the inactive DNA we have in our genetics?
There's a book by niggas asking questions. They don't even know. Read a book by Jeremy Narby, The Cosmic Serpent and DNA, and read Judy K. King's second book. She don't have many. She made the ISIS thesis. She made the ISIS thesis and she made the Orion something to go with it. Then she got a new book, Judy K. King, and she breaks down all that concept. And in fact, the ISIS thesis too. That book and her other book, her new book, Judy K. King. Get that shit and that'll answer your question. You go all day on how to activate that dormant DNA. And then once you do it, you know what I'm saying? I would like an Impossible Whopper whole of mayonnaise.
Facts, man. Facts. All right, let's get to a couple more. All right. Please ask Panic to elaborate on what him and Alim Bey said about consuming small amounts of turpentine for health.
There's nothing to elaborate on. You just really said, could you talk about that again? I like that sermon because that information was delivered thoroughly there. And where to go for more of it. Dr. Jennifer Daniels, right? What's her name? We sent you to her. She goes all around the world talking about that shit. Go see her for more information. So what we're supposed to do is lead you to places to go, not make a sermon. There's nothing to elaborate. Get a spoon, some turpentine, put it in your mouth. Boom. Cleared you out, cleaned you. We went through that. Don't do that. That's church shit. And I'm not really saying it to antagonize you or be arrogant. I'm trying to show y'all what this really is. If y'all want to see where the holes are, I'm telling you. These lectures are supposed to be straight up information. Boom. And that's what it is. There's no more to do on it. It's not a sermon. So there's no more to talk about. If it ain't been said then, the only thing I should be saying about it, oh, here's something I left out. You could do this, you could do that. But we left you enough places to look for yourself. That's the key to the occult science. Y'all fucking with me, y'all need to get in a look for yourself mode. Before you, when you want to formulate the question, first ask yourself and really see if you have no answers. And if you really have nothing, then you bring it to your peers or those who are in the study. But I come with like, if I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna be like, Rich, yo, I tried to look here. Let's say Rich has a keyboard and he may know something that I need to know now that I built my studio. I'm not gonna say, Rich, show me that keyboard. I'm gonna say, Rich, I plugged it in, I did that, I bought that, I tried this, I read that, and I'm failing here. That tells Rich I'm doing my work and here's my wall. Where Rich gets to say, okay, this nigga ain't just waiting a vampire off of me. Right. Just, you know, I studied and I did all of this and he don't know shit. And now I'm supposed to teach all this schooling and all this hard work I did. I'm supposed to teach this dumb, lazy shortcut dude how to do the keyboard. That's not even a real question. Rich, how do I do the keyboard? No, I need to say, Rich, I'm having a problem with the MIDI connection. Then we know we're dealing with professionals. These questions, I'm not even arrogant. These are not professional questions. Y'all should be asking something as if y'all tried it. This is not even I tried. Like, explain more on the turpentine? Explain what more? You know, we went all the way from when you take it in your mouth to when you make doo-doo. What happens? There's nothing else to explain on that. Or you have to ask a more specific question on that subject. If there was something about that, I can understand that. If something we missed that you feel, but you have to make that more specific. So I'll wait for that if that exists. If not, you got to refer to the lecture. That's what we're doing for, to be thorough in that moment.
All right, Panic. Dwayne Travers wants to know, can you explain the heart chakra being the gateway to consciousness?
All right. Well, you know, Rich and I just talked about this because we went in detail with the chakras. Will that be available to Travis, or is there a way for him to get that?
You would have to sign up.
How would he get that lecture?
Yeah, you would have to sign up to the workshop. The link is in the description.
You heard that, Travis? So to hear that thorough description, which I did go through with Brother Rich, you have to sign up for the workshop to get that information.
Indeed.
So, and it's well worth it. Well worth it.
Definitely.
Well worth
it. Panic went in, family. So
right. And not just me, you got Blue Prill, you got Brother Phil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed the other brother's name.
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson. Is he the brother who was talking about how light turned into matter?
Yeah, that brother.
I didn't see that lecture, but that shit sound like it. You can't make that claim unless you know some shit, nigga. So I believe Billy Carson is gonna be some shit. And I'll be happy to check him out. You know what I'm saying?
He reminds me a little bit of Delbert Blair.
Good. Okay, that's good.
Reminds me a little bit of Delbert Blair.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a good look then. Okay, so you know, I'm looking forward to that. So Travis, get your ass to class.
They want to know, where do we go?
Trying to get me to do a whole side lecture. You know what I mean? Explain the gateway. Okay, a whole fucking another hour and that shit. Nigga, take your ass to class, you old cheap motherfucking Travis. Fuck it.
Yo.
Explain the fucking cosmos, Panic.
You gotta love Panic. You gotta love my.
Hey, but this is true, man. Take your ass to class, old cheap skate ass nigga.
They want to know, what are your top occult movies?
Yo, man, listen. There are so fucking many. I would have to say, who the fuck? I don't even know. I don't think you could narrow it down like that. But okay, let's say somebody had a gun to my head and I had to pick the top occult. Wizard of Oz, maybe. Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz.
Woo.
That shit is so fire on so many levels. Like the scarecrow, the head, the heart, and the fucking root chakra. She hit all three. Remember, I told you the chakras are 1, 2, 3, middle, and this and that.
Yeah.
She got, look, this is, they went through her fucking mentality, through her ego, through the heart. That whole shit, no matter the fucking, the monkeys, everything. I broke that shit down in so many lectures, so many different times. It's a straight chakra story. It's a story of the ego. I broke down the names, all that shit's in my book now. You know what I mean? In my chakra portion of the book, I talk about, I should read that shit. How much time we got?
We got about 15 minutes. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it fast, and let me see how many pages this shit is.
No problem.
And if it's quick enough, Kabayan, hold on. If it's quick enough and I can find it quick enough, let's see. Okay, where's chakras? Oh, it's lower chakras, heart chakras. All right, let's see where we at. Healthy heart. Damn, I can't even see no more. I can't even see with the glasses no more. All right, I don't know where this shit's at. I definitely don't feel like reading this shit. This should look like work. Hold on, no, I'm not gonna read it. Fuck that shit. I ain't reading that shit. That shit look like too much work. But pretty much, these niggas ain't get me to do a whole nother lecture. You have the of course the root chakra, the shoes, the feet. Then the orange, actually, when she was in Munchkin land, was the intuition, which was the good witch of the West. The first one, Glinda, she's wearing an orange dress. She tells her to follow the yellow brick road. They get to the Emerald City, where she meets the wizard, who's just all voice. Blah, 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 blah. Go get the witch, who's the pineal. She melted it, Kundalini. Then she goes home. But then before she goes home, she had to deal with three aspects of the human psyche: the animal self, the heart, and the head. So of course she gives them the degree, which is that's what they give niggas out here in school to shut them up. The degree. They give these niggas, then the other niggas who don't go to school, they go to where? To the war and the army to fight for their country. And they give them that purple heart or whatever. And then just courage, for the human, scared ass human. They're talking about just the human animal fear aspect, because, it's fight or flight in the jungle. That's the animal. So either fear, flight, or fight. So the animal, he had no fight. Fear was encompassed. Cowardly lion gets the this and that. Now he's got the fight. You know what I'm saying? To be that human. So all of these parts of him were appeased, or parts of her actually were appeased for her to go back to purity. So she actually had, and that's one of the things I also teach in class, that you're not beating your ego, you're appeasing your ego. You're giving the baby his bottle. So you could just look. Let me move my foot on this side so you don't see my bunion. I move the camera. I got a shitload of fucking sneakers that will never end. You know what I'm saying? Floor, top, bottom. You know what I'm saying? In that corner, piled up on the floor, and still in the closet. I appease the ego. There was a time, we can't have Nikes, can't have this. Then I said, well, let me try something. Let me get it everything it wants. And I start to recognize my ego no longer gets in the way of humanity, because it's like a baby. Just give it the dumb shit it likes. All them little sneakers and all that shit that you grew up with in the psyche. Why fight it? Give it to it, especially if you can afford to do it. I'm saying? If you can't afford to, you might have to fix your mind a little bit different. But appeasing it as opposed to trying to destroy it, that's in the Wizard of Oz. Give him his award for his heart and his award for his college degree. You're appeasing the ego. Him this medal for courage, appeasing the ego. And the what's the name? He got a ticker though. Okay, but appeasing the ego. And so here we feed out, we don't fuck that poor righteous teacher shit. That's a myth. You can have whatever you want. Your power is here. So the material shit for us is a side effect. True light is the knowledge. If we ain't gaining no knowledge, then I've killed myself with this shit. You know what I'm saying? As long as that light is coming, all this shit is a side effect. And this shit follows. This shit chases us. I never chased this shit. I wasn't even chasing this shit when I was a human nigga. This shit follows us because your ego wants to survive. And I left it no other place to exist but as a servant. Oh, y'all niggas ain't ready for that. Woo. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all are serving your ego. I can show y'all niggas how to make your ego a servant, and all it does is feed me money, pays my bills, all that shit. I don't even notice it. I don't even have to pat it on the head. It needs to survive. Y'all misinterpret the ego as a problem. It became a problem. Y'all didn't understand it was a servant that came down here with you. Oh, but we don't have that time, that kind of lecture time. It's a servant that came down here with you. You got to know how to get it in check. That's a part of that chakra work, and that's what me and Rich talked about in that goddamn workshop. Y'all need to get in that shit. Y'all think I was playing? Shit, I was not playing. Y'all need to get in that because, I explained how to start flipping your energy through your chakra work, or at least I let you know what chakra work is headed out, what's in store for you, and different concepts. I added the occult concept. I'm sure you heard of eat bananas, that's yellow. No, we go a little bit funkier with it. And when you do that, what you got to understand from the solar plexus where the ego comes in, once you forgive it and it has no place to go. I talked about that, about forgiving, compassion through the heart chakra. And remember, this chakra has no place to go anymore. Think about that. Because it was fighting, it was holding on to whatever because they called you a punk. It was holding on to whatever proudly because they said you know what I'm saying, had a great chest, whatever the fuck they said in high school. Now that you don't care about it, it doesn't know what to do. So it will seep into consciousness if you don't know where to put it. Most people think once they get here, they're supposed to be this poor righteous teacher. So it's not really being poor because you were already fucking poor. No matter how many sneakers I show you, I'm fucking poor. You know what I'm saying? I can't change the condition in terms of financially, you know what I'm saying, for nobody but my personal family. So I can't change the condition of a nation or a people with money. So you're poor. You know what I'm saying? You're living under somebody else's idea of money, no matter how many stickers someone shows you. So that idea of rich ain't it. And that idea of nigger rich ain't it. It's really about just what you can carve out for yourself around this motherfucker at this point. And like I said, I understood if I started to become this poor righteous guy, the ego that I was didn't give direction to, that's sitting here in the solar plexus, is going to want to work his way up into my newfound consciousness. And that's usually what happens. So you hear more twisties, more outfits, more hotep, and I love you, brother, and all that shit, because the ego just retransformed itself here. You got to give it a new direction. So I still let it do what it was trained to do all its life, pursue material wealth. Still let it do it. Let it do it to serve you, because you understand material wealth is not why you get out of bed anymore. Material wealth is now a bitch of yours, a tool, something that you can use to only further your consciousness in your study. And all that other shit that you had dreams about when you was a little kid, do it too if you can. And long story short, it's the science of making your ego have a new purpose that actually still feels good while you're having this earth bid. You don't have to feel guilty about materialism if you control it while you're here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's this guilty feeling, oh, it's material. No, it's material if that's the ceiling on your consciousness and why you're doing it. But if you understand it, if you get to a level where you can understand and manipulate it, I'm at a mistake. I could throw all this shit in the garbage and still feel proud. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Still, Khadijah will not love me less, no matter how many sneakers or pair of pants I have. And that's really the key. You know what I'm saying? Have you reflected in someone else's eye enough to be that worthy? Is better than that. But at the same time, do not feel guilty if you want a big TV. Do not feel it. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel you have to feel that way. If a big TV is bigger than your spirituality, then you have a problem. Fuck that shit, nigga. Do as thou wilt is the whole of the law. The more questions?
I wanna thank you, Panic. We're gonna end it there. I want to thank you, my brother, for coming on. The next show I do, brother, definitely you and the Queen Khadijah.
Yes.
Still on there sometime in August, so sometime next month.
Yeah, I know she talked to you about when she's ready to roll, and then when that time comes, we're gonna kill that shit too. And let me tell y'all need to go do that workshop, because I heard some of the things the other brothers are gonna offer. Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? You can't get this anywhere. You know what I'm saying? This is where you do it. This is where it comes in at. This is the investment that you need. I know from what I put in there is, well, actually, I can't say I don't even remember, but I'm told you need to show up, nigga, to hear this shit. I was in rare form, nigga. Rare form. So you need to go see, Rich always offers you quality. It's so good to see that and hear that. And don't y'all agree? Always. We should give it up to brother. I can't see the room, but your motherfuckers better be hitting likes and fires and hots and 100s for Rich.
Facts.
For Rich. He kept you quality when you niggas could have been just sitting around listening to some goddamn bullshit. You had a real goddamn guy come and organize this shit and present folks with honor. So give it up to Brother Rich. Give it up to his dear goddess, old earth, on the other side, in us, with us, the sister Adrian, who's brought us so much love tonight. Happy birthday, Mama Adrian. We love you. Rich here. Rich is the mellow fellow. Don't mess with Rich. I seen Rich at a lecture. Somebody tried to cross Rich. They wouldn't do that no more. Rich is a real dude. He's a real pan dude. So honor to Rich, honor to the sister Adrian's birthday. And we are here. She's here with us. I'm happy to meet her. I'm happy to have her here.
Indeed.
Shade.
Listen, man, family, thanks for tuning in. As always, like I said, make sure you sign up for the workshop. We got the meditation going on. We got videos from Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, and more. It's going to be off the hook. It's starting September 11th. Call my number for more information. The flyer is on the screen at the beginning, or the link is in the description bar. Hit me up if you need more information. But Brother Panic and Khadijah will be back in August. In a couple of weeks, next month, they will be back. We're going to kick it. We're going to have a great time. And until then, Panic, one thing I want to ask you, when is your classes starting again?
Oh, I don't have a date But the wise thing to do, we're actually going to start soon. I just let it pile up. And then when I get enough heads, I do it. It's almost enough heads. So if you want to join now that we Zoom, just join, pay. You'll be on the list. I acknowledge you when you pay. So get me to acknowledge you. That puts you in the folder. So my folder is thick now. So we're talking in a couple of weeks. I'm going to throw a date. So if you want to know the best thing to do, if you're going to join it and you're going to do it, just join. You'll just be put on. You'll be in the next one. Khadijah sends out email blasts. So when it's that time, we're going to blast it out. Get on Khadijah's email blast. Email her at samdimessage@hotmail. SAMDIM. No, just email. Fuck it. Just go to her website and do that shit. I think it's massage and message. I don't remember. Either way, go to my website, Occult Lectures. That'll get you to hers, Samdi Massage. Email her, tell her you want to be on the list, and that'll give us. She'll put you on with all our dates.
Indeed. Man, listen, man. Once again, family, we getting out here. Brother Panic, Brother Rich.
Yes, sir, Brother Rich.
Underground Railroad, Occult Lectures. We gonna see you next time, family. Peace.
Next time, Brother Rich. Peace.